Brought to you by DK Audio.
DK Audio presents Asylum Speakers, collated and read by Jaz O'Hara. For my 4 foster brothers, for the larger refugee community, and for everyone who has ever felt unwelcome anywhere, this book is for you. For Nahom, for Jennifer Woodhouse, for Sarah Berkman, for Yara's father Mohammed, Farida's father and brother, Shakali's father, Noor's father, and all the others who went before us in the fight for what is right. A note from the author. There are no fictional characters in this book. Each story you read is that of a real person, whose words have been transcribed from interviews as accurately as possible. Most of these interviews were originally recorded for our podcast, Asylum Speakers. Any editing has been done for the purpose of clarity only, whilst always maintaining the original sentiment. The brilliance in these pages belongs to the people featured within them. You will hear not only from those with lived experience of displacement, but also a few others impacted by migration, such as volunteers and those working on the front line. Although their stories will never compare to the gravity of those searching for safety, they are included in these pages as people who have inspired me in their own way, in the hope that they will too for you. I look forward to the day when all the people in this book can share their own stories in a world where they are celebrated and heard. For now, I see myself only as the vessel with the book deal, here to help that day come sooner. A gentle content warning. Some of the stories in this book may be triggering to some readers. We've done our best to highlight potentially triggering topics throughout, but please take care when listening and do not hesitate to take a break or seek support if you need to. A word on semantics. In our mainstream media, the terms refugee, asylum seeker, and economic migrant are often dangerously conflated. I want to take a minute to clarify the differences between them. An immigrant, economic migrant, or simply migrant, is anyone who moves from one country to another out of choice. This is often for job opportunities or perhaps, as in my mum's case, for love. She moved from Amsterdam to England when she met my dad. Our current society typically celebrates this kind of movement when it comes to Westerners moving abroad for work or to retire, and often reframes them as expats. Most of the stories in this book, however, are of people who have left their countries because they had to. Once you are forced from your country as a result of a threat to your safety, you become an asylum seeker. These words literally mean someone seeking safety, but this core meaning is often lost. Once you arrive in your host country, where you are able to seek asylum, you go through a rigorous interview process to prove that staying in your home country was a risk to your life. This process can take years, during which time you are not allowed to work. If you are denied, you face deportation. If you are accepted, you officially become a refugee, a status that comes with certain rights in that new country, including the right to live and work legally. But this status doesn't last forever. In most countries, refugee status will expire after a certain number of years, at which point you must begin the long process of applying for citizenship. Citizenship is aspirational for many refugees as it brings with it additional rights, such as the right to travel to your home country, which is restricted under refugee status. Gaining citizenship is a long and difficult path, which most people in this book are still navigating, including my 4 foster brothers who have lived with my family for many years. In this book, you might find that I use the terms asylum seeker and refugee interchangeably, although I prefer to stick to person to avoid labels which only perpetuate an us and them narrative. You won't see me use the term migrant, as although there is nothing inherently negative about the word, it has been weaponised by mainstream media and used to alienate vulnerable people, often prefaced with the word illegal. There is nothing illegal about seeking asylum. As you will see as you read the stories in these pages, many people are forced into taking life-threatening risks and dangerous decisions, but this is because there is no legal option. If there was, believe me, people would choose it. Underneath the terms refugee or asylum seeker are people who have experienced something outside of their control. And though bad things may happen to us, they do not define us. Instead of focusing on refugees, asylum seekers or migrants, or any other term that might label or divide us, let's remember that we're talking about people. Everyone in this book is someone's child. Many are parents or siblings. We are all humans, and regardless of race, nationality, religion...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?